All right. I'm Wob.
I'm Rob.
And we've been fortunate enough to be on a new TV show called Sorted or Not by Rob Ferretti. And we're going to bring you some behind the scenes and reaction footage to the new contest. And hope to give you guys some more information about our experience. Quite a life-changing one, to be honest. Meeting Matt Farrah, Rob Ferretti, and Emelia Hartford. 3 of the biggest YouTubers out there for the car community. And icing on the cake, having Tanner Foust get behind the wheel of my 600 horsepower 2006 Subaru STI. So, the first episode that just came out today on Rob Ferretti's channel, Super Speeders Rob, is the first episode of the East Coast contest of Sorted or Not. And the TV show is about tuner cars that are streetable, trackable. You can hand the keys over to literally anybody and they can have a fun time behind your car without it breaking. So, do you want to explain a little bit about what we're going to do here?
Yeah, so we got the episode queued up right here on the iPad, and neither of us have seen episode 1 yet, so we're really excited to bring you a unfiltered, fresh reaction that we're going to have to the video. We're really excited to see it. We've been waiting since, we were out there filming for it to come out, so...
Completely candid. So
100%
hopefully we'll
candid.
see what YouTube lets us do, but I'm going to try and put the video somewhere in one of these corners here, or we're just going to cut to it and you guys are going to have our commentary. We're going to pause the video. Feel free to watch it along with us because it was quite the experience, and there's tons of stuff that happened behind the scenes and a lot of stuff that we heard about with these cars that probably didn't make it into the episode. So and we've just been waiting weeks and weeks to try and get this info to you guys. We've been waiting for this episode to launch. So here we go.
Let's do it. So. Like the intro.
Oh.
Wait a minute. Did you see what I saw?
I did not. What did you see? I saw the GTR.
I saw.
What'd you see? What did I miss? Oh, shit. Dude, almost hitting red line right there.
Oh, yeah. I was like,
I don't see the needle. It looks like it's past 90 miles per hour.
That's definitely your gauge, too. So.
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, there's Grant's car.
Sick. All right. This is definitely high production value.
Yeah, we're happy about this. Ooh. GT500.
I like this more than Top Gear already.
Brought to you straight by Eric at Auto Tempest.
What's going on, everybody? Rob Ferretti here in West Palm Beach, Florida. Welcome to Sorted. Behind me, we have 8,000 horsepower amongst 8 cars. Do the math.
8,000.
We're gonna see
Should tell you how
just
stiff the competition is.
cars are.
Because I don't have 1,000. So that means there's some with over 1,000.
I wonder if that was just 8,000 for that one right there.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'd say so with the 2,000 that's in that Viper.
So we're going to take these beautiful cars behind us over the next couple of days through a series of tests, including streetability, to see whether or not these are sorted or not.
Speaking of which, we sorted through hundreds of entries and narrowed our choices down to 8 competitors on the East Coast and another 8 on the West. They've traveled thousands of miles to join us today, and we'll meet them in a second. But first...
All this awesomeness behind us is brought to you by Autotempest.com. If you're looking to
22
buy a car,
horsepower Dodge Viper. I don't think you'll find those on Auto Tempest that easily, but you'll find a lot of great stuff on Auto Tempest.
That's very good.
Yeah.
That's nice. Now let's take a look at how you win on Sorted. The first round of tests is for streetability.
Nope, that's not good.
Could you daily and will it boogie? We drive the cars and rate them on road manners.
That's a lot of boogie.
Oh,
that was a teaser right there.
10 points for each category. The best possible
We can't talk
score
about that yet.
30. And now the abuse really begins. We're
That
putting
car.
world-famous professional driver Tanner
GT500,
Foust
man.
behind the wheel for 60
Fast,
to 150 runs.
stiff competition.
hello.
Hey, there's the Subi.
Fastest
That was like 130 down the straight.
The providers from a standing start in pit row to a time attack lap around to the finish line. This is worth up to 50 points.
Okay.
You still think your
Oh,
car
that's cool. I like how they
Final test is to see who can put down
class.
the 10
Oh, that was a Subi. pretty good.
That was all of us standing on the side there, too.
Bragging rights and a chance to battle for the grand prize goes to the
heard
car
some funny stories
closest
about this
to
guy.
200 points
Yeah.
without self-destructing. Or making
Uh-oh.
Tanner
That was a teaser there, too.
It's how you win on Sorted. Let's get started.
They haven't told us if I won yet, by the way, so this is like completely my reaction. I know how well I did. I don't know if I won or not. I like how they explained it.
All right,
They didn't explain the point system to us when we were filming.
I think that was part of the surprise for everyone.
But Henry here brought a 1JZ swapped Lexus, and he drove it down from Buffalo. So we think it's going to work. Henry can tell us what's in it.
I started with brakes, wheels, suspension.
Shout out to Bill and his crew, by the way. This is fantastic.
Yeah,
So,
they did. The production quality on
Yeah.
this is insane. I
we'll
mean,
probably put a link up here to Bill's production company because they did a great job.
yeah, they were like filmed on red cameras. Like I was pulling my car up on the set on some of them, and we had to get really close to the cameras, and I was like super careful not to hit any of them. Like they're probably worth more than my car.
Yep.
So, and then they joked, and they didn't think so. And I'm like, no, yeah, they're definitely worth more than my car. If this was a competition about per dollar per horsepower, I probably was one of the winners. Let's get back at it.
Everywhere else.
I heard a lot of funny stories about this one Jay.
You
Like,
swapped a 1J
he's the youngest.
turbo on this.
Yeah, it was. I got the whole setup right out of from a buddy, and he had his car ended up getting wrecked. So I bought everything from him.
So just a chassis swap.
Correct, pretty much. Yeah, I ended up finishing the swap. It was during my winter break from school. Me and my friends would get up every morning at 6 a.m. and work till 12 a.m. every night, and put it back together. Got in the car, went and took it for a ride, and saw some guy taking a video. I was like, oh, okay. So I dropped second and blew it up.
Okay.
Like,
That's a Ferretti move.
Yeah. If I blow up my engine, it's racing a motor.
So the whole competition, they were joking about like how our cars aren't reliable at all, and that anytime we would break something, that would just be like more reason to put modifications into our cars, and the only reason our cars were so modified was because they broke so many times.
I mean, isn't that just how it normally works
Yeah,
out?
that's exactly how it worked out. Not for me. Honestly, the Subaru hasn't broken that many times.
True.
It's only left me stranded once, and
Yeah.
that's fuel pump issues.
I think I've broken the Mustang quite a few times.
Yeah. Exactly. But it was just funny.
So you expressed concern about opening the engine bay because it was potentially dirty.
Yes.
Which it looks perfectly fine to me, but I do see a cause for concern, which is compiled with zip ties and electrical.
God, they gave me so much shit for my zip ties too.
It's actually a zip tie holding another.
They love
zip
roasting the
tie.
zip
It's
ties.
holding another zip
Hey,
tie.
man, when you drive exotics all day long, you don't get the tuner love. Zip ties hold everything together.
No, this is not a very good expression of what the car is about. Last Wednesday I went to the drag strip for a class actually. I mean that's
Okay.
And did a couple of runs that day. It was a good day. Then that next Saturday drove 2 hours to Erie, Pennsylvania. Drifted it for the first time all day. Now I didn't have a battery tie down.
All wrong car.
Oh.
That's cool. Dragged it, drifted it. Oh, so it's not holding his battery in.
No.
It's just for regulation.
Yeah.
I've been there. I had to do that in the BMW when I went drifting.
I'm
Just
rooting
put a
for
little
this one.
metal
the
strap
most.
over it.
Now we do have the fact that you drove it down from Buffalo.
Correct.
But also,
It's a long drive. I think they gave him
Go
like
Bills!
I think they gave him like 24 hours notice to get down there too. It was similar to me, where like we only had to drive about 500 miles down to
Yeah.
Palm Springs from San Francisco.
Much different than Tanner Faust ripping it around the
Absolutely.
racetrack. So we will see just how well built this
From
is.
Buffalo,
Let's take it
man.
home.
Yeah, but do we even have to do a street ability test? He drove it 22 hours. Can't we just go pass?
That's on streetability.
He's cool with that, and
That's a
then
good point.
we have
Yeah.
to dial it in.
If he can do 22 hours, but we can only handle like 10 minutes before it's like, get me out of here.
Hey, it's not so bad.
Well, you are the youngest competitor. I really applaud the effort. It's awesome that you're here. How do you think you're going to do?
Honestly, I'm just here to hang out. I'm here to see
Yeah,
everybody.
he has the same attitude as we did coming into this.
It's a high limit table here, so it's nice to be.
Yeah,
invited.
definitely the most similar attitude for sure.
Yeah.
Just drive to the track it all day.
I came there to win.
Put almost 6,000 miles.
Yeah, I mean, I was obviously coming out to hang out. I mean, I didn't have a car in the mix.
Whether or not
so-
I'm gonna win or not, that's a whole nother story.
Yesterday. Well,
Yeah.
we are rooting for you. You got my vote,
Thank you.
and
down.
I don't think they were rooting for me. Sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Didn't look that fast though.
I love a good sound of 1J.
Cars for crazy people.
Can't beat it, 1J. Oh dear God. So we heard about this car the whole trip.
You might have also heard a little bit about it on Matt's podcast. He's mentioned it a few
Yeah,
times.
if you've
So.
listened to the Smoking Tire podcast
Yeah.
at all, like he was slightly obsessed with this car.
I mean, it's a Viper, so
2000
one of the greatest
horsepower
things that
Viper.
Carroll Shelby ever made.
9-liter engine with a sequential transmission, makes roughly 2,000 horsepower. Everything's built
Just
by stock.
2,000.
It drives literally like a stock car. Like I had a customer
Sure.
who was like,
Does not.
Well, a stock Viper. I mean, a stock Viper wants to kill you as it is. So
If you're starting with an ACR, you know, you've got a really developed chassis, aero package. I mean, this thing is like setting, you know, track records stock. So do you have to then do anything to it after that?
Actually, it's kind of funny. So we were the first people to turbo an ACR, and everybody said, "Oh, the wing, the aero's going to slow
First.
you down and everything." And it actually helped us because you could throw so much power down low at it.
You'd actually get grip.
You actually get grip down low, like a lot more.
Smart.
We throw
Yeah.
like 200 foot-pounds more torque at an ACR.
there's one thing Vipers are normally not good at. It's grip.
And then you put the turbos on it. And now it's like, okay, let me take the largest displacement engine in cars today and add these ridiculous turbos. And
So this is a
How many liters did you say? 9?
9-liter.
Jesus
twin
Christ.
76, 1,600 horsepower.
2,000. It made
2,000.
1900 change on our dyno.
What's
where do
it
the
like?
turbos go?
They're underneath.
Can we
They're
pop
here?
this open?
They were saying something like this is the fastest car they've ever
Yeah,
driven.
it looks stock.
No, I'm not
Yeah,
surprised.
And
you
they,
see
between them,
You
they've
see some
driven
heat wrap
thousands
on the
of cars.
headers is all you
Yeah.
really see.
This looks like it's
Vipers just also feel faster
Flex
than
fuel,
the power they put out. They just
Yeah.
all the fancy
they feel like they want to kill you all the time. Little background: I used to work at a Viper shop, so
Yeah, Rob knows his way around some Vipers.
yeah.
stock rear end is this on. Third, fourth.
Maybe we can get a Viper on the channel.
For original one, huh?
I've actually in my personal
To be
car, I've only broken
determined.
one rear end
Yeah.
with an axle, and it was at the track on a wheel hop.
How many miles are on this build?
5,000?
5,000 turbo miles. Now, you've
Similar to
taken
the
this beast
Subaru,
back,
maybe
the
like
car
6 or
makes how
7.
530 at the wheels.
and you've quadrupled it.
Yes, pretty much.
Quadrupled.
Perfect.
What could
I can't say I've quadrupled
One
mine.
actually
conditioning
really cool
still?
thing, air conditioning, cruise control, everything works like stock.
How many different maps do you have?
7.
So, talk about that. So, air conditioning was a big factor. I hope they factored that into the points because not all the cars had air conditioning. And that should be a little bit of a teaser of some of the issues that come about in later episodes because it was hot as hell. It was
Honestly, hell felt
110
cooler,
plus
you know.
out on the track. So on the tarmac, it was probably about 115. I heard it was hot and humid in Florida. So AC is a big part of streetability, and I hope points for that because not all the cars had AC. And I can't wait to see some of their reactions to them just like sweating so much in the cars that don't have AC.
Work by gear, correct.
Yeah.
All right, so I have a question. This shifter does not look like a standard Dodge Viper shifter. What am
No,
I
that is
missing?
a PPG sequential.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not going to beat a
Still 6
sequential.
speed.
What's that like to street drive?
Yeah.
I'm curious how it is to track a sequential.
When we talk to Brett,
Throttle.
if he wants to join the channel, we can do that. He's got a sequential in his Roush.
I'd love to try one. I've never tried one.
I have
Okay,
not.
thank you.
I have
Fun.
never
So-
driven a sequential.
If you've never done it, it's hard to go back afterwards. It's
Oh.
really fun. Yeah, it's
I mean, I guess I have driven a
it's a good
sequential.
time.
Yeah, I used to have a Harley, so
You just get, not
Similar.
because I'm concerned about breaking the car, but I just don't want to do anything wrong. Maybe we'll let you take me out and her out. Just show
Okay,
us what we're doing, just so we can do this and do it right.
Yeah, 2,000 horsepower. The ground's wet. What could go wrong?
A lot.
Oh, it's wet out there. I didn't hear about it being wet.
Actually done like 170.
Maybe we'll have some advantages.
170 in the rain?
Woo!
Not anymore
That's
when
some
that goes
cojones.
Yeah, serious cojones
wrong.
there.
Well,
God, I love the sounds of
I was
V10s.
pretty scared doing 170 in the heat, let alone the wet. And again, I don't have aero.
And all-wheel drive.
And all-wheel drive.
Rear-wheel drive.
I had everything going for me.
Is that a Supra?
Okay, so they've introduced 2 cars.
For Toyota Supra, thank you for bringing it out. I'm excited. I see
It's a
you're missing
Supra.
out.
This Supra is single turbo conversion,
Big turbo, big turbo, big turbo.
How big?
Fingers crossed.
How big?
76 millimeter.
Okay.
Size of a
76,
baby.
75.
That's not that big. I have a 76 millimeter
Manual
turbo.
transmission, 6 speed. It's the original 6-speed V160.
He's putting out a lot of power.
Should have
That's
75
from,
millimeter.
Rear-wheel drive.
Close.
It's on an AM Infinity computer.
I'm excited. I'm just
It's that
gonna pop
1
the hood.
millimeter.
That's it.
1 millimeter.
How much power do you think?
It depends on the ethanol content.
Uh-huh.
So if it's got good ethanol content, it should make around 1,300.
Whoa. And the setup
why we
is
brought our own
mainly for
ethanol.
drag
Yep.
racing, right? I see the big...
Not necessarily.
Oh, that thing's gonna suck on the track.
But not necessarily.
I mean, look at that.
Drag radials around a
We
turn.
have Mickey Thompson tires
Yeah.
on the back. I mean...
Tanner's gonna road course with those tires on the car.
I mean, you did everything. You've got this is standard Supra. You've got the big turbo. You've got the aftermarket intake, which is big.
Right through the
This
headlight.
will bring you over like 900 wheel. Otherwise, you're stuck.
Is there a screen or filter or anything?
No. So if you guys suck in a bird, that's it for the turbo.
That could be the best line. I didn't hear a line.
That's
that good.
great.
But
You
yeah,
suck in a bird.
This car is when you guys drive this car on the road,
Yeah.
you're not even gonna feel it have 1,300 until you demand it.
Until
Yeah.
hit that boost.
Now, what about usability? How
Thing's a
often can
monster.
you street drive it a lot?
I actually drive this car a lot. So
Yeah.
I drive it like
Oh, I
in
love it.
states for events.
I love the
all
interior of
time.
Supras.
I
It's like a
don't
little
kill the car,
cockpit.
not a killer queen.
It's so
Did you
cool.
drive it here?
No, I didn't drive it yet.
Maybe we can get Phil to actually get his Supra going.
Streetability. Let's see you didn't drive it there.
Nothing wrong with that. So
I'm
okay.
excited. This is a low-key car for
And-
1,300 horsepower. It's not too flashy, not too much attention.
Yeah, it's a little
And,
sleeper.
You know what? I think nowadays everybody expects a Supra to be over 1,000.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
Pretty
thing.
much. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Is that most of them are not. But
Or
everybody
they're stock
expects
and
this
worth
when you pop the hood.
100,000.
Sorry, I didn't hear. Did you say you
Yeah.
have a Ford?
There's no in between.
Yeah.
You build your bottom end?
Motors built.
Built, okay. Good, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this.
Ah,
I've
fully
got
built
one,
motor.
but I'm going to drive yours more than I've driven mine in the last 5 years, so I'm excited.
One cool fact about this car is it's the only hardtop Toyota made in silver in '95. So it's a one of one.
Okay.
Oh, really? It's the only silver hardtop. Okay.
Toyota ever made.
Spam haulers.
Everybody always asks, is that a Supra? And you get to say yes, and that's a cool feeling. So
Correct.
I'm excited to have you out. How do you think you're going to do?
I'm now that I see the competition, I don't know how it's gonna corner that good, but besides that, I think it should do great.
Cool. Well, I'm
Cool.
looking forward to it. Thank you for coming out.
Thanks, Bob.
Straight line superstar.
Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty good so far. The only one that worries me is the Viper.
On your next project, whether you want a parts car, a running car,
I
or a
got what?
heavily modified
5
car,
1,300
Honda
horsepower
Tempest
car.
is
5 more
the
cars to
right
see?
place for you. All the cars, one search.
Hey, I searched for my Spec B on Auto Tempest.
I got air-conditioned seats right now.
Ooh.
The big number. The 991 Porsche Turbo S.
Yes, sir.
Already
An
I
expensive
love that
car.
color.
out of the box.
I think it's
Yours
beautiful.
says 900 on the side of it.
Our buddy Brandon had his Porsche wrapped in that color. It was originally white.
Fancy, right?
So what have we done?
Then he
here?
sold it and bought an R8.
Pretty basic setup. We changed out the VTG turbos, the variable vane
Variable
turbos.
turbine geometry.
Yep. And we put an actual turbo kit on it without that, with boost control instead of position
Smart
control.
move.
Okay.
So it's got a manifold turbo kit with on-rotor turbos, titanium exhaust.
Do they even have to be any bigger, or is it just
See, it was
a
a built
different,
motor?
better controlled?
Yeah,
I
so the
missed it.
factory turbos are extremely, extremely small.
Yeah.
And the problem with them is, the biggest problem is the shaft on them is like 2.5 millimeters.
Okay.
So you overspin them, they just shear
Yeah.
instantly.
Ooh.
So yeah, we changed that out. Manifold, exhaust, intercoolers,
trans?
stock trans with a Dodson clutch.
So I imagine that none of those mods have affected daily usability in any way.
I drive this car every day I can possibly get in.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's awesome.
Is it
Yeah, it's probably pretty
drivable in
drivable.
stock?
Completely.
Really?
Until you hammer it.
Yeah.
But the base price of this vehicle is like $195,000.
Yeah,
This
dude.
one is Miami blue, and I can see some other options. So we're talking about starting
Yeah,
at a
expensive.
$215,000, $220,000 car.
212 was a sticker.
Quarter mil, dude.
I'm pretty good.
That's
at
what I'm
guessing.
going up against.
We ought to be up in the high $200,000 range at this point.
Right, but you can buy. I mean, this
Yeah.
car, you can buy these things in the 110 neighborhood now.
Yep.
Yeah.
110, 120.
Yeah.
Only
And the
110.
package is like 35 grand.
Yeah.
So there's two different approaches. There's the buy the $30,000 car and put 170 into it, or
Yeah.
buy the $170,000 car and,
put
put
30
30
into
into it.
Smart move.
Yeah.
Guilty.
Yeah, so for the Advan wheels and tires, is this roughly stock size?
Yeah, I like the 30 to
Just,
170.
Yep, 20s all the way around, stock size. A little
need to
bit
put
wider.
170 in
triple
any
A's on
car.
it.
No.
Slower on H&R springs, completely stock shocks, stock brakes, stock brake pads. You know, I mean, I don't mean to say, I mean, we modify cars that are, you know, very modified, but this car is so good.
Yeah.
You only have to do a little bit to just make it awesome.
Are you tuning off of an access port?
Yeah, so Cobb, we're doing
Wow.
all the tuning
Cobb
with Cobb.
tune. Nice.
We do
That's a
have some
piggyback,
tech
alright.
solutions.
Box?
Oh, it's upstairs.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
you don't actually have to leave it plugged in.
No.
Only YouTubers actually leave them plugged in. People do the tuning and then put it away, Amelia.
Right?
Yeah, I put mine away.
Yeah,
I don't leave mine.
with this package,
Yours is in your cup holder half the time.
It's usually to check engine lights. Sometimes when I get a backfire, it'll throw a cylinder code.
Power level. When you multiply that,
It's only when I'm really
things
getting
start
on
to
it,
fail. Differentials break. A lot of things go wrong when you add that much power to a car. This is probably going to be
Seriously.
my favorite. I think
Well, that's the thing. So like, anybody, I mean, I guess not anybody can buy an expensive car and then put a little bit of mods on it and it be insane.
Yeah.
But you always end up babying those cars. You don't ever drive them to their potential because you're so scared. Like some of the people that we took to the track, they were like too scared to like push the car to the limits. Whereas I feel like the guys that had cheaper cars with a lot of modifications in them just had so much more fun enjoying the car, including the Supras, the Subarus. Like everybody just push their car to the limits because they weren't scared about breaking things. Whereas like these exotic cars, yeah, they're treatable, yeah, they have a lot of power and they're like the best in class, but nobody drove them to the limits except for maybe the Viper.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just my 2 cents. I don't think I'll ever not own like a cheap tuner car.
As Matt says, Vipers are cars for crazy people.
Yes.
So of course they're going to drive them to their full potential.
I kind of wish I got to meet the Calvo guys.
Yeah.
Heard a lot of crazy things.
best platform to start with if you're looking to build a car that would compete in an event like this.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love taking it to Road Atlanta. I love taking it to the drag strip. You can stop on the street and launch the car and it'll run a 950 to 150. And it's like, what? How is that possible?
And you could do it 100 times in a row.
9-second car. Super is about a 10 plus second car. So definitely faster than me.
Oh, that was air. Don't put that in the edit.
I would kill this.
Busted, Matt. I mean, Rob.
It's 150, just like that. Man, does this thing move.
This thing boogies for sure.
This is the best idea I've ever had.
I have appreciation for Audis, and that's because of the rally legend Audi Quattro. What I love about the
Beautiful
RS3
car.
is that it comes with the turbo inline 5 of the Audi Quattro. So, Rat, why don't you tell us what you've done to this?
So this has the RPC 1000 turbo kit.
So I have some experience with Audis, and they can go fast as fuck. I used to have a 96 B5 A4, and that was my car in high school. That was actually the first car that got me into tuning cars. And since then, I've been through about 3 or 4 other cars, different blowing motors. I did end up blowing the motor on that, so yeah, it didn't survive my teenagehood, but it was a cool car at the time. It was modified, it had coils, it had a tune. I kind of wish I had more money back then to actually make it a total sleeper, though. Audis are one of those cars that people always underestimate. And
100%.
They're just total sleepers. You can put just an absurd amount of horsepower in them. Reliably, maybe not, but they're fast.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
From, I believe it's Spain. And it's also got the Eurocode drop-in piston kit in the bottom end.
Nice.
Love those beautiful welds on that intake.
I think it's pronounced Ferretti.
Cold
And
intake.
also, it's got some DCT clutches from DCT.
What are those wheels?
So these wheels are actually a knockoff.
I used to have a
of,
DCT clutch. I didn't like it.
My money went into the engine, not
I
the
don't know.
wheels.
Depends on the car, I guess.
A little concerned that it's
They
got
apparently
like
love it in
cheap knockoff
some of the new
HRE
cars.
wheels, and when you have that much power, you know, having strong wheels is good. So that concerns me.
Can we see under the hood?
Yeah, of course.
And what sort of power are we making in this thing?
Power on this guy is right about 900 horse, is what we dynoed at last time. The tune is done.
900 horse, tiny car like that. That's,
Both the engine and
All-wheel drive?
yeah.
That is quite.
Wow.
I mean, if you don't have a big turbo to show, you show a big intake.
Yes, yes.
That's rule number 1.
So that was
Titanium?
Titanium, yes. I just put that together. So
Did you weld that?
I did.
Nice.
Wow.
Yes.
Nice
so I
welds.
do a little bit of dabbing here and there, just for fun.
Say most Audi owners can't say that. Impressed.
All 4 wheels?
All 4 wheels, yes.
Wow. That's crazy.
That's a lot of
That's
boogie right there.
insane.
Does, I mean, not that I'm going to question someone who can make 900 horsepower out of a 5-cylinder, but does having a big titanium pipe above the turbo, is that optimum for your intake temperatures, or?
Probably not.
Yeah. Probably not.
You can do
Think
about
about
the way it's set up.
Yeah.
You gotta cut the hole in the hood.
Yeah, that's the style point.
Yeah, you could do that too.
Wrap it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's 900 horsepower. I'm not going to question it.
Wrap
that
it in
much, but
fiberglass.
Just wonder how long that 900 horsepower will last for.
900.
Well, actually,
That's
the car, I bought it with 1,300 miles on it. It's got 32,000 on it now, and that's in 2 years.
How long while modified to that?
As soon as I got home.
Oh,
That's
so you got
Wow.
2,000 miles at 900 wheel?
No, so the 900 wheel came around this January. So I got
Okay.
15,000 on that already.
That's crazy. That's
Yeah,
still
pretty
a
good.
tremendous amount of mileage on it.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
a lot of rallies. So I've been on clown rallies, cannonball rallies. So I do rallies all over.
Can't say he doesn't drive it.
Been around the block.
Yeah.
So where's wow, easy there.
Sounds like it's pretty reliable too.
What's the confidence level then? Because that sounds pretty confident. To have that much horsepower last that long is impressive just to begin with.
Tanner
How
does
confident are
beat
you
the crap
seeing
out of his
other
cars when he
that are
takes it to the
here
track.
That this car
There's
is going to upstage
No
your
holding back.
Well, I think I'll do all right. 'Cause usually the word is the more power, the more problems.
Okay.
So the Viper is scary, 2,000 plus horsepower and that. But like I said,
More power, more problems.
it did happen at a track, but it has since been solved. It was the DCT clutches basket broke. It literally sheared
did it
off.
take your trans out with it?
It did not.
Oh, that's lucky.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
so
lucky.
it's just a basket lid that sheared the gears right off, or the splines sheared right off. So
Any weight reduction?
nope, completely stock inside, stock battery, no weight reduction at all.
Okay.
All the
And
amenities.
what is the curb weight on this?
It's like 3,600 pounds, so it's about 37 with me in it.
These are nice cars. These are really fast out of the box, and they take well to modifications. This should be a contender.
Yeah, knows his
Other
stuff.
than the wrap, I would not.
Like Chris
have
was
guessed
looking to
this
get
car
one of
made
those
that
to replace
much
his
horsepower,
A3 when
which is what,
he bought the
probably
Supra.
1050 or 1100 at the engine.
Yep, that's it. So
That's
When you
pretty
pop the
crazy.
hood, I don't think you would expect that immediately either.
Even now.
Officer, I swear, it's stock.
If you told me you just had a big intake on it, they'd be like, okay.
Not the case
but
with Subaru.
it's
Pops the hood, he's like,
thank you for bringing
getting
me
state
that.
reffed.
I am really excited to drive.
They're also in Florida.
yeah. If I was in Florida, the Subaru would be a little bit more insane.
That's 2,000.
That 9,000 RPM red line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when I did track days up in Thunderhill, one of the only cars that was a real contender against me was an S2000. They corner fantastically.
Oh, they're so balanced.
Yeah,
My neighbor has a white one with 30,000 miles on it and sits in the garage all the time.
Giant pallet of parts.
Tragic.
Full suspension. We did tires, wheels at the same time. Chassis mounted front splitter, the wing as well. And then the next iteration was.
I'd say that car's built for
everything
time
else.
attack, which
So
is
you started with aero.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then went to power. That's the absolute opposite of what everybody else does. Everybody
You did
is
it right.
I started with the Aero first. I didn't put power into the Subaru until
then change your
well
brakes.
into
Was
owning it
that
a couple
your
years.
problem when it was stock, that you were unstable at speed on track days, or did you just...
Not necessarily. So the car stayed in the mountains of North Carolina, where I grew up, and I wanted something that could really do it well on the Parkway and at the Dragon, things like that.
So that thing
And
would do pretty
Aero
well.
was just the natural first step for me. I knew it was already a really well balanced car.
Not that fast,
I
though.
just wanted more corner speed.
but they're
You're the one guy that didn't think
fun to
the
drive.
S2000 was underpowered.
50 to 150 pull.
Torqueless.
This is a complete.
pretty slow on
This
it.
is from a 180 horsepower car to now like a 700 horsepower car.
Oh, it's 7?
That is
Jesus.
what this show is
Yeah,
about.
no, they didn't say it was stock.
Here,
Yeah, I
see?
see a big old turbo sticker.
Alright.
I mean, I don't even have to really pop it to see what's
Yeah,
up there,
right.
but
Yeah.
That worked out really well.
Are you on the stock bottom end?
No, this is a J's Racing. This is the prototype for the J's Racing engine for the S2000.
Oh, wow.
I lucked out, got it from a shop that
there
had
we
no
go,
idea
yeah.
what they had, and yeah. So
Diamond in the rough.
the turbo placement
good.
just worked out perfect with the hood vents.
Yeah.
the small motor.
Yeah.
something to be said about
So we
color
still
matching
turn
all your
on
AN fittings.
Okay.
Just
stroked,
yeah,
it's
it
high
looks
compression,
great.
What's the displacement now?
That's a true tuner car.
Yeah.
And
What's
it's
the
at
compression?
12.1.
Oh,
Wow.
for a turbo.
Never a turbo, that's high.
Right, too.
It's actually, I think we've got it at 9,200.
Does that even run on pump gas?
It does. It's it makes around 5 on 93, and just around 7, if not a little north of 7 on E70 and above.
Okay.
Wow, what's in it right now?
Horsepower.
Right now, well, it's on a switch. I can do. We're on E73 right now.
What is it putting to the wheels now?
Like right now, turned up is 7.
700.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
With 600 torque.
It's nice that you got it just to clear the fans.
Yeah, it's
That
awful
was
close.
that was a
Clearance is
battle.
like-
I put it in there one time and it was like, oh, this is gonna be tough.
It just looks gnarly. Whenever it rains, like I see the owner running up to put like some Red Bull cans over the dump pipes
in the
with
background.
exhaust so water doesn't get in. And that's just like true enthusiast right there.
What do you have for brakes on this car?
This is still technically a stock brake car. It's on pads.
That's the
Yeah,
normal
you don't need
progression.
much to stop a small
it'll
car
be
like
called
that.
DTC 60s.
That's going to be a good haul down for Tanner on lap 3.
I just want to comment. I think you're going to be the only guy here with aftermarket hood hinges.
That's
So-
actually what made everything purple.
Okay.
So
Started
these
with
are
the hinges.
these are really hard to get, and the last set was either purple or green.
You went with weight
Car would do
reduction.
well in LA.
Very
Yeah.
much so.
Lakers.
The
Yeah,
real
real.
is carbon fiber throughout.
But he's in Miami where they just played the finals against each other.
Carbon Kevlar doors.
Carbon Kevlar on the doors. Wow.
Okay. Got it to the max. So the street manners are probably questionable.
It does pretty well. It's a little loud.
I would say it would be. Like
Stripped out cars can be a little loud.
Curious if it's a straight pipe there has a muffler or something.
But it's
I want to hear
He's
this
got
thing.
he's got his wastegate coming right up at the top there. It looks like.
Oh yeah, when that thing's under boost, there's gonna be flames coming out of the
Yeah.
hood.
as well.
Yeah.
That because you can't
That's why he's
really
got the holes in
change
the-
spin rate a lot on the the V3s there for this.
Yeah.
I've always thought about putting my wastegate
Works out to
straight through the
balance
hood.
really well.
Had a good daily.
Not in California.
But as Emelia said, he's like every time it would rain, he's like
Cool.
covering them
I can't
up
wait to
so
see
water
this
doesn't get
drive.
into
I'm
the
excited
exhaust.
to drive it.
You don't want to do that in California either.
No.
Pretty well. Good.
I think it will definitely represent the S2000 community quite well.
Guys, days at the
Rev's
track
so
are
high.
really fun for everybody until there's
Hey.
a massive fire. Then it's
Yeah.
really bad. That's why we run these
Hey.
Gotta get that mounted in the car, don't you?
Yeah, I just gotta take out my other fire extinguisher.
Challenge.
Yeah.
It's a clean burning fire extinguisher that's good for both gas and electrical fires. And if you hit the link in the description,
So
you'll
awkward,
hook
they
up
made us
with
do
a
these,
special
like,
price, my friend.
Commercials for the fire extinguisher, and they didn't give us any script or anything. Like, here, just talk about it while they're filming. I had so much trouble.
Ooh, we got a Beamer.
I didn't hear anything about the Beamer.
Yeah.
They're pretty good about not letting us know any of the results. if anything.
Yeah.
These are really underappreciated.
It's like the CIA, everything was
Everybody goes
compartmentalized.
for the 335.
Need to know basis.
Yep.
You can pick these things up used for like pennies. So what's done to this one?
Pretty much everything.
Okay.
Not even really because I wanted to at first, but because it's a BMW and everything breaks. Everything that the forums and the internet said was that you should do, I did. And then I just broke part after part after part. This car is built out
Breaking
of the
stuff's
pipe
always
well.
fun.
This
Can't say I
breaks,
had the same
well,
story with my
might as
BMW.
well
No.
touch all these parts while we're in there.
Right.
Only you've
And
broken is a
then it
diff.
sort of morphed
Welds on
into
one diff,
something
and then you had to
that you
replace
see
that
here.
diff.
And I decided,
What do you do with it?
I'm mainly road course track stuff.
Okay.
Sebring, Palm Beach,
Nice.
that kind of thing.
All right,
That's
well,
what
what's
it's
a
built
South
to do.
Florida
Oh, a decent amount of these are
road
time
course
attack
probably
cars.
handles
Yeah.
high temps and humidity pretty well.
It does now.
Okay.
I saw the cooling in the front.
It-
That
Was that one of
looked
those-
serious.
They should have just called this competition
Yeah,
sorted
well,
or
it
not
was a
in the heat.
have to.
Like,
30-minute
it's
session.
hot in Florida, it was hot in Palm Springs.
BMWs don't like the heat.
It limited
They
my
love the
time.
cold.
Similar to the Supra.
That German
Yeah,
air.
take manifold
Germans don't
setup.
like the heat
Right,
in
that
general.
Doctor
No.
intake manifold was sort of a
All my
spoiler.
German cars
It's a
run
pretty
really
cool
well in the
diesel, looks
winter.
good in red. But the cooling is here is everything.
We had to put the heater up on the Cayenne going over the grapevine to make sure it didn't overheat.
Towing 8,000 pounds of the grapevine.
Oh, no doubt about it.
Sweltering heat, it's probably in like somewhere in the 5s. If the
Don't
wind
be
blows,
hating on my Cayenne. That thing's a
and blows
beast.
this-
Oh, I'm not hating. I'm not hating. I'm just saying that's what it was.
I'm on a little mix, so it's 93 with about 3 gallons of E85, a little bit of E85.
Nice.
helps
Okay,
it
flex
take
fuel.
You sort of touched everything. I don't.
I mean, you
Is
got
there
square
anything
stance,
stock?
right?
So it's still got a stock diff. These are actually the stock M Sport brakes, but obviously some robust fluid. The pads using Padgett RSL 29 race pads, the endurance pad.
What are these wheels off of?
So these wheels are like a JDM CODY tire rack.
feel like they did longer interviews in this one. I don't remember the interviews being this long.
I tried
Probably
out
felt
three
short
different
'cause you were
kinds of
doing it.
17-inch
Yeah,
wheels,
that's
and
true.
I wanted to run 17s that would clear these big M Sport.
I think if I remember correctly, the interview was like
and they're
good
really,
5-6
light.
minutes.
So the car,
Really?
Yeah.
with camber and really light wheels.
Haven't looked at the footage. I don't remember what I said.
Transmission are you on?
Stock.
Hopefully I
Clutch
don't
is
regret
out
it.
of is it called IS clutch? So it's in a bunch of
Just a little.
higher power BMW cars. The lightweight spec flywheel, and a big IRP tall shifter in there, chassis mounted.
And I see you went after the weight reduction. How do you think you're going to do?
I think I'm going to do pretty well on the road course.
Okay.
The car just works pretty well.
How's it work on the street?
The challenges are
Oh boy.
fixed seat,
Uh-huh.
Okay.
and I'm 5'8",
Yeah.
so
Probably fine.
It'll be better for
And
some
it's
of us.
seat
We'll get
spring.
you a phone book.
it'll be tough for Matt. But yeah, fixed seat is a challenge, but it has
AC?
has stereo, got AC.
Nice.
It's the harnesses are kind of a pain on the streets, but it's actually
Matt's
not
what,
a
like
bad
6
street
foot
car.
plus?
It's pretty good. It's not too stiff.
I think about all right, yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for coming out. If that car doesn't go the distance, I'll be surprised. It looks like it was set up and built as a track car. And the only thing about the BMW is it's gutted. It's not going to be as street friendly, but on the track it should do really well.
Doesn't look that fast.
Oh, we're in my territory now.
Thing sounds good.
Nothing like a coyote, man.
Well, it's pretty good.
He didn't seem too excited.
Some might even say LS Nation. But
Matt's
I do
jaded
have
because he's
to
been
say,
driving
this
around
is
the
one
GT500.
beautiful
Yeah.
Mustang. It's a 5 liter, so please tell me
We got a lot of
what
Mustangs
it
on this
is.
show.
Not a Chevy person, as you can see.
At least 3 that I know of.
Mustang GT. It is pro-charged with the ep.1 SC pro-charger kit. It's a stage 2 intercooler, 95-pound injectors, catless exhaust all the way through. Yeah, booster pump and all the goodies. It's running about like 8 to 9 pounds of boost right now.
What's it put down power-wise?
It
Talk
did
to
make
me when you get to
630
32.
on pump gas,
Wow.
which is what it's
Crank-driven boost.
Yeah.
Not exhaust driven.
Very different.
Yeah.
Suspension, it's on coilovers in the front, and the back is full-rear suspension. So I did all the
He is on a centrifugal though, instead of Pro
all
Charger.
that
So
good stuff, but it's
not a
mostly
twin
set
screw.
for straight line.
Yeah. I noticed it's a staggered stance. It's 255s in the front and then 275 rear, so I smell some understeer. The track guys go 285s at all 4 corners, and he really turns in nice.
I got 275s on all 4 corners of mine.
Hot.
Honestly, with that intercooler, it's fine. The fan's always running, and I don't really see the temperatures go up too much.
What rear end is it?
373.
Oh, okay.
How were the brakes on this? What'd you do?
Brakes, it's 6-piston in the front. And the only thing Ford didn't offer in the back was they only have a single piston in the rear, which is questionable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That means it's good.
So far, it's pretty good. It stops on a dime, but after a little bit of heat, I would do a Shelby conversion in the rear.
Okay.
So it's a dual piston action,
Yeah.
which would definitely help.
Yeah.
Any weight reduction?
You gotta go to the Shelby
I do
brakes
not.
in the back.
It's full interior.
Immediately goes after the weight.
Especially with the heavier Mustangs.
I love the
Can
look
use
from
that
the
right
front. This thing looks awesome from the front. And
Gotta give them credit. They know they can spot the weaknesses in the cars
I
immediately.
can't imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's louder outside or inside.
Well, luckily your
I
axles
can't
weren't
imagine
visible.
driving this.
Well, yeah, they also didn't do that many launches. So.
But that'll be a Tanner problem tomorrow. But
Ooh.
Rookie
I
mistake.
forgot where they put the hood. How do you think it's going to do compared to the other
It's
cars?
me every time I use the tailgate of my girlfriend's Forester.
Overall, I think she's a good competitor. I have faith in her.
I see a good fighting chance.
Yes. Maybe you'll have Ford in your lineup.
We'll see after the test
I
drive.
don't know. That's a tougher sell. But I'm excited to get out driving, and I think it's time for us to hit the road. We've looked at these cars enough. Now it's time to get behind the wheel.
I'll take one with air conditioning.
With air conditioning, absolutely.
So they're doing 4 and 4 each episode.
Sorted.
Or
Get
5. They're doing
behind the
5.
wheel to see just how accurate
I don't know.
the cars
Didn't
were.
they do all the cars?
Some were not.
It didn't seem like 8.
Others maybe a little too accurate.
Oh my
No, I think that was all of them.
I was going way too fast there.
I think what they'll probably do is...
Of course you did. You're
Yeah,
still
I don't know.
watching. That's why you should go over to Autotempest.com and start looking for your own overly modded gigantic baby turbo ride so you can join us here on Sorted.
Use Auto
Yeah.
Tempest.
Join us on our show too.
Yeah.
And get yourself
We'll give you an
a
honest review.
Because, all the cars, one search. As always, stay sorted.
I don't like driving other people's.
Yeah, right.
It's always a scary thing.
Street smart, like a high
So
That was high production value. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie. It's interesting how they really just did the introductions on the first episode. They didn't really do any reactions to the cars other than just the owners explaining them. So that's good to know when our episode releases. They're just gonna explain all the modifications and what they think about the car and, throw you bits and pieces of what the reaction is. So episode 3 through 4 and episode 6 through 8 are probably going to be insane.
Yeah. Who knows how they're going to do
unfiltered
it.
reactions.
Yeah. We don't know whether they're going to just do all the East Coast stuff start off and then the West Coast stuff or mix in a little bit of each.
It'll be interesting.
We're in the dark on this, which is... I like it. We're there, but we don't know everything, and it's a lot more fun that way because that way not everything is spoiled for us when we see the video.
It's kind of new, too, for anything or YouTube because, most car review channels, they're just one single car, and they don't, totally put them through their paces. They don't take them to the track, usually.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is, you get a reaction to the car in so many different environments, and I think that's really cool, and I think this show's going to do really well. I like it more than, a Top Gear style, too, where it seems kind of so staged and scripted. And the jokes are this was completely raw. There was no scripts, no anything. This is just run and gun style filming. Yeah. So there's a lot of unfiltered stuff that happens, which is going to be really interesting.
Yeah. And following Matt's channel and Rob's channel over the years, I've always liked how they do seem like they do stuff more off the cuff than just trying to script it or anything, And that definitely showed in their in the production, just what we saw and stuff, everything seemed very, very organic, very, very, just in the moment. And I really enjoy that about a lot of productions.
Yeah. So. I'll do some filming of the Subaru too. I'll try and get a video out before, obviously my episode airs so that you guys can get an idea of the car from my perspective. They don't really go into the nitty gritty about some of the modifications. So yeah, maybe I'll film some cool stuff that didn't necessarily make it in the show on my car, so you guys can see, if you guys are interested in the Subaru and how it performs against, as you've seen, some $250,000 cars.
Yeah, it's going to be fun to see. So, just hit that like button, guys, and subscribe. We're going to be putting out a lot of fun content, on this channel. We're really excited about doing this. It's something we wanted to do for a long time. And, being on this show, it's really going to give us an opportunity to be able to have fun with that.
Thanks for the segue, man. Yeah. So, first 500 subscribers, I'm going to have a tiny little giveaway for you guys. I'm going to be giving away some lanyards that I've been selling on my Instagram for a while on the StormTrooperWRX, as well as Air Force Dynamics channel. And it's a little tribute to Paul Walker. So, if any of you guys are Fast and the Furious fans and need a keychain lanyard that says "For Paul" on one side, and what does it say on the other side? Tuna no crust.
Yep.
If you're a true Paul Walker fan. So I'll post a photo right now of what it looks like. Subscribe, like the video, and then send me a DM or a comment, and I'll reach back out to you and I'll ship that out to you.
Absolutely, yeah. And keep tuned in, guys. they're going to be putting out some great episodes. So check them out on Super Speeders Rob. Check out Matt on Smoking Tire. Emelia on Miss Emelia. And, Tanner Foust on anything that Tanner Foust pops up in.
Literally everything. And a lot of stuff that you guys don't know about. I mean, he just got off the set of a new movie with Ryan Reynolds. What movie is it? It's a new video game movie called Level Up or Hero Up or...
I think it was Level Up or something like that.
Something like that. A new movie. He was doing some stunt driving. So he literally came off the set of it right before he filmed this with us and was telling us some of the behind-the-scenes stuff.
Yeah.
And on that movie and how Ryan Reynolds' production value of his movies are really high, and he was impressed by it. So we'll talk to you guys later.
Sounds good.
Peace out.
Cheers.